It's Veterans Day, and we're in Barrio Logan at the Don Diego VFW. We're going to have more from how they're marking the occasion.
Crowds have gathered downtown for the annual San Diego Veterans Day Parade. Why this event has a special meaning for so many families.
4 years later, the Rose campaign continues. Today, we follow through with a pandemic campaign that turned into a lasting legacy honoring veterans.
Welcome to ABC 10 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Lindsay Pena on this Veterans Day.
Right now at 4, here's a look at some of the top stories we're following this Monday. Late breaking at this hour, a major verdict in the Delphi murder trial. What's next for Richard Allen after his conviction? And a weekend crash sends a woman into labor early. The details we're learning from police today about the driver they say is responsible.
And crystal clear skies across the tri-state. Temperatures warm, right around 65 degrees. We're going to repeat it for tomorrow, but changes on the way midweek. I'm Jonathan Weaver. All that Storm Team 44 forecast coming up.
Plus, the nation is honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifices. A look at local Veterans Day festivities.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 44 News at 4.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Thomas. Our big story at this hour. Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen has been found guilty in the 2017 killings of 2 teenage girls.
News 18, WLFI Lafayette. News from where you live.
Richard Allen has been found guilty on all charges. Good afternoon, I'm Marley Thomas. Thanks for joining us. More than 7 years after the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, there is now some closure in that case. News 18's Madison Kopp has been in the courtroom for the trial. She's live in Delphi with the latest. Madison?
Straight ahead on Fox 55 News, the verdict is in. A storied saga 7 years in the making comes to an end, at least for now, as Richard Allen goes from suspect to convict after jury delivers its decision. What's next as the Allen County jurors head back home?
Plus, honoring our heroes, it is Veterans Day. We show you how people locally and across the region, both young and old, are saying thank you to those who serve.
And it's a first for Parkview Field. Coming up, we're going to preview the brand new holiday walkthrough display and how you can join in on the fun.
Mild and windy today, but some cooler air will be settling in across the region. I'll have the very latest in your hometown forecast.
Fox 55 News at 5 starts now with local breaking news.
After nearly 3 days of jury deliberations and years of investigation, we finally have a jury verdict in the trial of accused Delphi murderer Richard Allen. Thanks for making Fox 55 your choice for News Tonight. I'm Tara Brantley.
And I'm Brian Miller.
From Indie streaming news leader, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
First tonight, a guilty verdict in the Delphi double murder trial. Richard Allen convicted in the 2017 murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. WRTV's Caitlin Kendall has been in Delphi for the entire 3-week trial. Caitlin, describe for us how this decision unfolded and the reaction from the dozens of people both inside and outside of the Carroll County Courthouse.
Nicole, the reading of the verdict only took about 3 minutes. That's how long the jury was inside of the courtroom. And as you just mentioned, Richard Allen found guilty on all 4 counts in regard to the killings of Abigail Williams and Liberty German.
Your news now. This is WTWO News at 6.
Richard Allen found guilty of the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi. More details following today's verdict.
Coming up, see how Vigo County came together to honor those who served with their annual Veterans Day Parade.
Plus, we have details on how Sullivan Elementary School received the Purple Star designation. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Dana Winklepleck. Mike Tank has the night off. The suspect in the Delphi murders found guilty. A jury returned the verdict against Richard Allen this afternoon at the courthouse in Carroll County in northern Indiana.
From WNDU TV, live, local, late breaking. This is 16 News now at 11.
A verdict today in the double murder case that gripped Delphi for 7 years. Richard Allen found guilty on all counts. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Melissa Stevens.
And I'm George Mallet. The husband, father, and pharmacy tech now awaits sentencing for murdering 2 teenage girls, Libby German and Abby Williams. Erica Jimenez reports tonight from Delphi.
Richard Allen has been found guilty of the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German.
From the heart of Philly, this is CBS News Philadelphia at 11. Here's what's happening. A deadly hit-and-run crash. A woman thrown from her wheelchair, then dies at the hospital. We have new photos of the man investigators think is responsible for the crash. A major wildfire is burning across state lines. An update on the progress to get it under control as smoke travels miles in the air. And a flight diverted after it was hit by gunfire. The airline is now taking steps to keep it from happening again, and other carriers are following suit. We start in Montgomery County tonight, where detectives are trying to find the driver who hit and killed a woman and then left the scene.
You're watching First News at 6. Your top news and weather headlines start right now.
Good evening, and thanks for tuning in. We're learning more today on the scope of the devastation from last month's deadly wildfires. NDSU Extension has gathered some official numbers on just how much livestock was lost.
Broadcasting from the hub of Aroostook, you're watching WAGM, Rise and Shine.
Welcome everyone into Rise and Shine on this Wednesday, November 13th. I'm meteorologist Vanessa Simonik. Outside our studios, another chilly start with that temperature at 25 degrees.
From San Antonio's own Ken's 5, this is the news at 6.
Now at 6, San Antonio police stopped 3 people trying to steal an ATM.
Just in the recent couple weeks, the detectives I spoke to said that they've seen a rise in it.
More on the disturbing trend ahead of the holiday season.
A 77-year-old man with Alzheimer's shot and killed by a Guadalupe County deputy. I'm Simone Simpson with the transparency the man's family wants from law enforcement.
A second Trump presidency comes with the prospect of mass deportations. Coming up at 6, we hear from a dreamer and legal expert on their worries about the future of immigration policy.
Cold front number 1 moves through, so now we're dropping into some cooler temps, but I've got colder temps in the forecast.
Well, today we learned Spurs head coach Greg Popovich is recovering from a mild stroke. The team revealing he suffered the stroke at the beginning of the month.
Tonight, a $1 million investment in local veteran entrepreneurs has just been unveiled. A look at Ohio's first ever Veterans Business Outreach Center and the work being done there. Then,
looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need.
President Biden welcoming President-elect Trump to the White House. A look at their meeting and the promise of a peaceful transition of power. But first,
we will be reaching the state's priorities, such as serving pregnant and postpartum women and children, increasing access to treatment and all forms of medication for opioid use disorders.
$4 million in state funding now heading to Montgomery County Adamus. The organization plans to use that money to help the community in the long term. All this and more tonight on Dayton 24/7 Now.
The Montgomery County Adamus Board just received over $4 million from state opioid response funding that will help people across Montgomery County through treatment, long-term recovery services, and more.
Tonight, the murder conviction reversed. The state appeals court says counsel acted ineffectively, attempting to defend Joseph Sampanaro from being convicted of murdering his father in Carmel back in 2020. The shocking allegations against defense attorneys tonight. Plus a shootout in San Diego. 3 people are dead after shots are fired in broad daylight. A Harbor Patrol officer getting caught in the middle of a manhunt before coming face to face with the suspect. will have new details. And farm workers preparing for winter, the concerns farmers are facing as they get ready for potential downpours. And the potential for more rain on the Central Coast. Lindsay Selzer has a look at your forecast if you plan on heading outdoors for the weekend. Then the long-awaited Trader Joe's in Marina finally open. We take you inside for opening day. Those stories more as KION News Channel 46 starts right now.
Covering the Central Coast, this is KION News Channel 46 at 11 o'clock.
Good evening and thank you for joining us here at 11 o'clock. A murder conviction overturned in California. California Appeals Court ordering a retrial.
Coming up on WFMJ today, stores in the Southern Park Mall are waiting to see who will be the mall's new owner. We'll take a closer look at where that sale stands.
The family of a man killed by a falling tree in Mill Creek Park last year has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. We'll take a look at the details of what the family is accusing the park of.
And the FTC antitrust lawsuit against Meta is headed for trial. We'll tell you what that means for the future of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
Locally owned, locally connected. This is WFMJ Today.
It's November 14th at 5 a.m. Thanks for kicking off your Thursday with us at WFMJ Today.
A local filmmaker is shooting a movie around here to raise awareness about human trafficking and drug abuse. He'll join us in the studio this hour with all the details.
Principals will just not allow me to vote for myself to have a 22% increase.
I'm your Twin Falls neighborhood reporter Lorian Nettleton with some details about the recommended pay increase for Idaho lawmakers and why some local legislators are prepared to reject the increase.
Wildfire season is nearly behind us.
The reality is it was chaotic all season, but it went very, very well.
I'm your Nampa neighborhood reporter Keith Burrell, and I spoke with the president of the Idaho Fire Chiefs Association to learn about how the communication is going to be better for next year.
This intersection has been closed down for months due to construction, but soon that will all change.
Now that they started and they opened up this side of the street, it's really starting to move more fluid.
I'm your Eagle neighborhood reporter Alexander House, speaking with ACHD about the new updates and when they're expected to be done.
Everybody, happy Thursday. It is 5 o'clock bright and early on a Thursday morning. Welcome to Idaho News 6. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris, and I am here at my favorite Albertsons store in the whole valley because
awaiting his fate, the defendant in a double murder in Fall River, waiting for the jury to reach a verdict. Going after Gates, the backlash after President-elect Trump nominates him for Attorney General. And our 10 Cares Thanksgiving telethon is underway. We have all the information on how you can help feed local families in need.
NBC 10 News at noon starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Barbara Morse. Thanks for joining us this noontime. Closing arguments happening this morning for a double murder trial in Fall River.
A 15-year-old girl found dead in the woods in Pasadena 35 years ago. Tonight's Maryland cold case, the murder of Mary Kathleen Grant.
Baltimore police are still searching for the person who shot a 15-year-old Dunbar High School student on Monday. And all the public has to go off of is a single blurry photo. But more surveillance images could be on the way.
WMAR 2 News at 6 begins now with breaking news.
We're following breaking news tonight from North Baltimore, a shooting outside of Royal Farms. Here's what we know right now. It happened this afternoon outside the store off West Cold Spring Lane in Roland Park.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, one of Spokane's busiest roads could soon become more pedestrian and bicycle friendly.
Why experts are saying cell phones should not be allowed in schools. Also, when is Target taking your old car seat in a trade? And the risk factors for a brain aneurysm that everyone should know. All at 4.
What environmental groups think should be done about the abandoned mines scattered throughout Idaho. Plus, 4 more doctors took the stand today in the trial against Idaho's strict abortion bans. And concerns continue to grow over the president-elect's picks for cabinet positions, intelligence, justice, and health. The news at 10 starts now. Well, mining has been a bedrock of Idaho's economy since before the gem state became a state. But one environmental nonprofit says abandoned mines are leaving a legacy that is harming the landscape.
Keep up with Victor Valley and High Desert local news by watching KVVB TV Channel 33 daily newscasts, available on Roku and Amazon Fire TV, KVVB TV Channel 33. You will see and hear breaking news updates. Victorville City Council member Blanca Gomez has been convicted. Joseph W. Brady's insight and analysis.
The inflation that we've seen, the pricing that we've seen, I think it's here to stay. I don't see it rolling back at all.
Video sports, action highlights of high school and Victor Valley College sports. KVVB TV local newscasts, televised 8 times daily, available on Roku and Amazon Fire, KVVB TV Channel 33.